The year was 1985. A team of psychologists recruited 21 women and told them they would be attending a job interview. When the women turned up, they were told, "We're going to have a makeup artist draw a scar across your face." Some were uneasy at first, and in the end, they agreed. But just before each of the ladies entered the interview room, she was told, "We need to touch up a little." The makeup artist then removed the scar on her face completely, but she didn't know that. So, she entered the interview room, unaware that the facial scar had been erased. The results? Fascinating. Those women came back and reported they felt belittled in the interview. "The interviewer was mean to me. He kept looking at my scar and he probably thought how ugly I was. He made many degrading remarks and I think it's because of my scar." Of course, the interviewer said nothing about the non-existent scar. The feeling of belittlement was purely in her imagination. What's the lesson here? The psychologists then concluded, facial disfigurement affects social interaction. Well, that shouldn't surprise anyone, right? But here's the thing. What the researchers missed was something even more important, and it's this. Every woman bears hidden scars. These scars are imaginary, and yet they are so real to her that they control her emotions and actions. What's more, these scars are subconscious to her. A woman may feel and behave in a certain way. She doesn't know why. But if you do, you'll hold power over her. These scars are like the puppet master, pulling the strings behind the strings. If you know what they are, you can exploit them to manipulate her actions and thoughts. Now, I've got to do the responsible thing and ask you not to exploit this. I mean, there will be guys who will use this to take advantage of women, but I'm sure you're not one of them, right? So, here's the deal. If you agree you won't use this knowledge to hurt women, do this. Scroll down and enter the word yes in the comments section below. Do this and we'll continue right after. I'll be here. Done? Good, thank you. Here's the question though. While every woman has these hidden scars in her subconscious, how do we uncover what they are? Well, as it turns out, many carry emotional baggage that often shows up in 8 types of fears. And these are 1. Fear of rejection. Every single woman suffers from this, no exceptions. 2. Fear of looking ugly. Again, a universal trait among women. 3. Fear of appearing dumb. This is particularly true among beautiful women. 4. Fear of judgment. Women are more self-conscious than men. Reason? They feel people are constantly looking, judging their choices, appearance, or actions. 5. Fear of aging. Related to the fear of looking unattractive. Women don't want to lose their youthful appeal to the men. 6. Fear of abandonment. This is her anxiety about being left alone or losing important relationships, related to the fear of rejection. 7. Fear of vulnerability. Women fear opening up because they may get hurt or taken advantage of. And 8. Fear of violence. Sounds insane, but true. In fact, when a woman gets asked out by a man, she instinctively thinks, "Will I get raped or killed?" The truth is, she may not need to worry about these things, and yet every female suffers from the same 8 fears, some worse than the others. Again, remember that she may not know consciously she has these fears, but guess what? You do. And with this knowledge, she's an open book to you. Call it a loophole in female psychology, a loophole some men exploit to control her. In 2015, I discovered Shogun Method. It taught me valuable lessons about understanding how the female psyche works. Sun Tzu wrote in The Art of War, "Know the enemy and know yourself, and you need not fear 100 battles." Shogun Method practitioners see the female mind as enemy terrain, and rightly so, because, make no mistake, my brother, if you don't know what you're stepping into, you'll get sucked in, chomped up, and spit out. But that's not all. Knowing the enemy is the only start. Using them to your advantage is the vital next step, and that's what Shogun Method teaches. Shogun Method will arm you to the teeth with an arsenal of state-of-the-art, nuclear-grade psychological armory. We're talking about hypnotic routines, tactical persuasion, emotional enslavement strategies, big boy stuff. When you need to pull out the big guns, Shogun Method is what you want. At this point, I have to caution you. As Sun Tzu had warned, knowing your enemy is not enough to win the war. You must also know yourself, your motivation, and, most importantly, your own limitations. So, here's my question to you. Are you ready for Shogun Method? Because 99% of men are not, and will never be. The truth is, Shogun Method suits only a handful of men with high abilities and specific requirements. You might not be one of them. Bottom line, Nobody can tell if you're right for Shogun Method, not even me. Go to shogunmethod.com, read it carefully, and decide for yourself. So, now you know about the 8 things that women fear the most. Fear of rejection, fear of looking ugly, fear of appearing dumb, fear of judgment, fear of aging, fear of abandonment, fear of vulnerability, and fear of violence. Remember, you promised not to exploit those fears. So, what you gonna do? Here's a handy hint. If you're smart and you have an open mind, you can find the answer at shogunmethod.com.